All right, well, let's do this. 1, 2, 3, let's go. Greetings. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. This is my pilot episode of my YouTube channel. I've been thinking about doing a YouTube channel for so long, and just decided I just needed to do it. Situations of the last couple of years have shifted the way I think and the way I want to live my life, and so I'm on YouTube now. Go figure, at my age, I'm on YouTube. Bear with me. I have a lot to learn, an awful lot to learn as far as editing, as far as filming, as far as how to present a great story and present information that I want to present to you, but I will do my darndest. I am a lifetime learner. I love to learn, and I love to show people what I'm up to. I do some reenactments in our city at our historic Fort Wayne, and that's really kind of spurred me on to do more and to learn more and to hone my crafts even more. Let's see. One of the reasons I wanted to do YouTube video as well was to kind of help me keep track and stay working on my projects. I have a really bad time. Well, I have starteritis. I know a lot of crafters have starteritis. We love to start new projects. We get all excited about the latest pattern or the newest yarn that we've bought, or the technique that we want to use, and we start lots and lots and lots of projects. And I know when I clean out my craft room, I'm sitting in my craft room right now. It's one of my kids' old bedrooms. I had everything stuck downstairs in our back den for the longest time, and as I cleaned everything out as my kids moved out, I brought stuff up here and I started going through all these totes of projects that I had started. Socks, sweaters, all kinds of things. I just kind of lost track of all of them. I think I had probably 25 or 30 projects that were in there in different bags and in different stages of construction. Good majority of them were like, what was I thinking? Why was I working on this? Why didn't I finish this with some other ones? So I really challenged myself to kind of go through those and think, am I ever going to finish this? Am I still in love with that project? Is it something I want to do? Is it something that the person that I originally started making it for, is that something that they're going to want now, all these years later? A good majority of them I frogged and put the yarn back into my yarn stash. My yarn stash is over here, mostly over here on my bookshelf over here. I did keep some. I think I winnowed it down to about 11 or 12. I haven't counted them in a while. I haven't challenged myself to get back over there and work on them yet, but at least I got them down to a workable number. And so having a podcast, having a YouTube channel, I'm hoping will help me to kind of finish the ones that I'm working on, keep track of the ones that I want to complete, and then get that list of all those partially half done ones done and out of there. I know I have a blanket that I started, I think it was called the 10 stitch blanket, where you just do 10 stitches at a time and you make these little itty bitty blocks and you just kind of work around and around, just keep making the blanket bigger and bigger and bigger. Last time I looked at it, and I was using all kinds of different yarns for it, all kinds of hand spun and stuff I've bought. I think the last time I looked at it, though, it didn't look like some of the yarns were doing real well. I had a couple of holes that I was going to have to patch, and so I just kind of got stuffed back in the bag and back in the corner again. So I'll have to get to that at some point. I do have a love of learning, though, so I do try to learn lots of different crafts. I don't keep myself to any one craft. Like I said, I started with knitting when I was very young. I moved on to quilting as I started having children. I've tried to figure crochet out. I do crochet quite a bit now. I know about 3 stitches. Kind of like knitting, you only need to know a couple stitches and you can make all kinds of stuff. I don't do a lot, but I do mostly with my cross stitch for my pets and my grandkids. It kind of seems to be what I use my crochet for. But I do love to spin. Back in 2012 when I became a stay-at-home mom, again, I challenged myself to learn about yarn, learn about construction, learn about where it comes from, what are the better yarns to use. I learned about how wonderful wool is for us as humans and how sustainable and just such a great product wool can be. I live in a suburb. Well, actually, I live in the city limits. It was a suburb when I was a child. It's a city limit, and within the city limits now. And I could not. There's no way I could convince the neighbors that a pack of sheep, that a pack of sheep, does he call it a pack of sheep? Flock of sheep, a flock of sheep or alpacas, which I would love to raise at some point as well. I couldn't convince them that they were just really big dogs in the neighborhood. So what we ended up deciding to do was I ended up raising Angora rabbits, French Angora rabbits in particular. They don't give as much wool as the larger animals, but they give a superior quality of luxury fiber that I could use on in clothing, hats. My first sweater that I made with my Angora, I did a collar and some trim on the sleeves. I didn't bring that for this video, so I'll have to show that in a subsequent video. Yay, a reason to have a second video. But so I've been raising and spinning the yarn of the fiber of the Angora rabbits for a long time, since 2014. That's where the name Those Yarn Rabbits came from. I just decided that that was going to be a nice name for our company business, just ways of letting people know what it was I made and what the love was. I didn't always use Angora for the things that I made. My husband and I, we have a blended family. My husband's from he's from Memphis, Tennessee, and we are a blended family with 9 kids, and just welcomed our 4th grandchild this year. So when we married, a few years after we married, I became a stay-at-home mom and started spinning. Made myself a spindle after watching videos online. Went to the local spin shop. We were very fortunate to have a local spin shop here in Fort Wayne, and had Betty help teach me how to do it a little more efficiently than what I was doing from what I learned online. Just love Betty, just loved that shop and loved everything that I was learning through there. So I've honed my skills a lot with my spinning. Now I'm at a point where I have a lot of hand spun fiber, and I'm trying to incorporate it into garments and different fabrics to be used. I've made a couple sweaters from some of my hand spun yarn. Some of them have worked out really well. Some of them are like, maybe I could tweak it here or there. I have to make some little adjustments. Currently, I've been working on incorporating my hand spun into woven materials, because I got a loom a few years ago. Got a second loom not long after that, because the first one was pretty small. So I talked my husband into getting me a bigger one. So I'm making bigger items. So I do a lot. I go back and forth between different projects, hence why, like I said, I have starteritis sometimes, that trying to finish what I start can be a challenge to me. But I'm getting better at it. All of our kids are out of the house now. We are empty nesters. Our youngest just just started college this last summer. So she's down in Bloomington at my alma mater, IU. I didn't go to Bloomington, but I did graduate from Indiana University. So yay, go Hoosiers. So as she's been out, I've been, have a lot more free time. I am unemployed. I've been unemployed for most of this year. Last couple of years have been really hard for me employment-wise. I am a former therapist, former case manager, former campus minister. I've done a lot of different things, managers of teams of case managers, a lot of different things that I've learned. But getting back into the workforce after you've been out for a spell is difficult. It can be frustrating. So I pour a lot of my time and my energy into my crafts. And the different things that I like to do. This past year, I've gotten a lot back into cross stitch. In fact, one of my finished objects is right up there, that great big one with the black there. That is one of my, it's the Proverbs 31 about the virtuous woman. And I'll have to show that for you, because it didn't take me too long to make. I was pretty amazed how quickly cross stitch goes. But for the videos and this channel, one of my big whys is that I just want to encourage people that you don't have to be perfect with the way you do your craft, with the way you knit, with the way you crochet or quilt or whatever projects that you're in, that it's okay to make mistakes. I know my husband many times would just look at me like, what are you doing? And I'm, working really hard on a project, and then all of a sudden I'm ripping it all apart. And I'm like, he's like, what? And I'm like, I found a mistake and I couldn't let it go, and I had to rip the whole thing back. And that took me a long time to get to the point where I could rip things back. I had to give myself permission to redo things. I tell myself it's a learning situation. It's not so much a mistake as it's a learning situation. It's an opportunity to do it better and to pay more attention. It's usually what happens when I make mistakes. Is I like to watch movies or podcasts or videos when I'm doing whatever project, and I tend to sometimes get into the story of what I'm paying attention to, and I forget to pay attention to what's going on with my hands, and that's when I usually make mistakes. The project I'm working on right now, a Christmas present that I'm working on right now, I've frogged back that a couple times now. Should be done with it by now, with the times that I've frogged it back. So my hope is that I'm going to be, like I said, sharing all the different things that I'm working on, things that I've done. I've been working on things for a long time. I think maybe I should just kind of get to some of that for you, so you can kind of see where I'm at and what I'm doing. So one of the latest things that I've worked on lately, and what I finished, is what's called the Snowfall sweater scarf. This is a pattern by, designed by Knititude. I used a lot yarn from Lion Brand Wool Ease. And so this is kind of a picture of what it's supposed to look like. And it does. I use this color that I think is called linen. Here's a better picture that shows it from the front and the back and the different ways that you can style it. I just thought it was so gorgeous, and just such an interesting blend of sweater, scarf, wrap, shawl, whatever you want to call it. So this is what it is. It's this great big long thing with arms on it. I'm still trying to figure out how to style it. So the arms are pretty long. They go up past my elbows. And what I've been doing is I put it around the back, and then I'll put it around my head again, and I'll slide my hand in here for the other sleeve. And then I spend a lot of time adjusting. So yeah, I'm still kind of learning. I had it really nice the other day when it was kind of really chilly in my house, and I just needed something a little extra on my shoulders. I think it's a beautiful neutral color. And kind of see it on the back there, kind of. I don't know. I'm not the best model for something like this. I'm going to take it off because it's really hot right now. But what I really love about the pattern, besides the fact that the arms, you've got I think it's a 2 by 2. No, knit one, purl one for the initial sleeves, and you go up about 11 and 11.5 inches, and then you're mixing your knits with your pearls, and you're doing it a lot at first, and then it kind of eases up and it's not so much, and then you get to like the middle, and it's just kind of, you have those purl bumps every so often, and then it starts off again getting more purl bumps, more purl bumps, more purl bumps, until you get back to the sleeve. So beautiful sweater. I have a crochet version that I bought yarn for to make an additional to make a crochet version of the same kind of sweater, same kind of concept with the sweater. I haven't started that one yet, but I think that's going to be really pretty, and I think that color's in like a cream as well. This is kind of like a taupe color. Another thing that I finished was a crochet project recently. I actually started this quite a while ago for my rabbit, of all things. I have, because I was on the breeders list of Angora rabbits, we get calls every once in a while for people either looking for to buy rabbits, or looking to sell rabbits, or just questions with with you know how to deal with a rabbit. And this last July, a family called us up while we were traveling, and were asking questions about how to groom Angora rabbits. That they had bought a very small little Angora lion head cross bunny for their daughter, but the bunny was highly matted, and so we got together and we spent some time talking, and I was teaching them you know how to groom and suggestions on what to feed it, and ways that you know they could teach, you know, as they learn they could teach their daughter how to groom the bunny as well. And we ended up they just gave me the bunny in exchange for a short-haired rabbit that I had rescued, that I was like, hey, this guy needs a home too. So we just kind of swapped rabbits there. So anyways, so I made I had this pattern that I bought many years ago called kitty couches from Annie's Crochet. Looks like it's made, the author is Candy Clayton, and it just, my God, look at those cute little couches that you can crochet or knit. I think they're crocheted. I crocheted the one I did, so I think they're all crocheted. Little couches for your critters. So I made this little pink one here for my little bunny Lola. And this is how it turned out. It's big. It's a big thing. It turned out much bigger than I thought it was going to be. I actually started it with dark pink, ran out, totally did not get the yarn thing right, the yarn amount right. So I finished this for Lola. By the time I was finished with this and put it in her little exercise pen, she wasn't impressed with it at all. She never even paid attention to it. Flash forward a couple months, my daughter brought the one that just started college. She got a kitty, and the kitty is living with us now. You know how those situations go. And I put the backing on there, so she had like a little bolster to lay on. So the kitty lays on it. My West Highland Terrier, Fergus, he lays on it too. He loves it too. So that's one of my finished objects. And it was a simple, easy pattern to follow. It doesn't take a whole lot of time. You do have to, you know, construct everything together. You do have to know how to read crochet, which I'm not the best at reading crochet, but that was one of the latest things that I've been working on. Let's see. So those are my finished objects. Usually people start with what's on the needles, and I started with the finished objects, but that's okay. What's on my needles with regards after that is I'm working on another sweater. This one is called the Tesoro Sweater. Let me see if I can get you a good, hopefully you can see this well. This is also another one that I bought at linebrand.com. It's a sweetheart neckline. It's got 3/4 sleeves, and the right below the bust line down to the waist is a 1x1 rib. Super easy. That's pretty much what I'm still working on. I've got probably 8 inches of it yet. I think I got to go 11. I don't know what is with the number 11. I think that's what I do. I guess I should have looked at, 11.5 inches before I get to working on the bust and the arms. This is a super soft yarn. Let's see. Oh, I didn't tell you the yarn with the other one. That's okay. This is 100% Super Merino Wash from Lion Brand. The color is Paprika. Oh, sorry, it looks like it's backwards. Sorry. Such a beautiful pattern. I can always use new sweaters for different outfits. This sweater just looked like the perfect blend of those kind of sweaters that you need kind of in between. I don't always really want the deep winter, the deep thick ones. Sometimes I just want a nice little light one. So I'm hoping that this one is a little more fitted than I usually make. A lot of the sweaters I make are a little more bulky, a little more open, a little more boxy in shape. And so this was kind of my attempt to get that more shapely little bit. I've had a lot of fun working on it. I bought it at the same time that I bought the material for this pattern, which I bought their brand Wool Ease in the color linen. So that was linen. Love that one. Excuse me. It's been a while since I've talked this long at any one particular time. My spinning that I've been working on lately, I've been working on my Russian supported spindle, one of them. This is a beautiful fiber that I bought from the spin shop that went out of business. Well, she didn't go out of business. Correction. She sold the business. The business got moved to Roanoke. And this was a Little Shop of Spinning is the name of the company. So their Little Shop of Spinning has moved to Roanoke. I bought this fiber from what was left of Betty's shop that she didn't sell to the new owner. And so this was a beautiful, I believe it's a merino. I think it's merino. And it's got this beautiful sparkles. I don't know if the camera can show, but it's got these beautiful sparkles, Angelina, in there. So I've been spinning that up. So that's one. This is one of my Russian spindles, that a sported spindle that I have to spin. And that got kind of unyieldy. So I bought a Tibetan spindle recently on Etsy. I don't have the name. I'm sorry. I'll have to look for that. And it's got a brass tip on the very end. So this thing, when this thing spins, holy la 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 la, this thing really spins. Whoops, I gotta do it with my other hand, sorry. This thing just spins and spins and spins and spins and spins. And the Russian takes a little more work. That spins pretty well too in the singing bowl. This is one of my singing bowl. Can you hear it? I got that when I got a Tockley. And I'll talk about that sometime. Oh, here's my Tockley right here. I'll have to talk about that. I think it's John Galen? Let me see. Yeah, John Galen Designs. I think that's how you say his name. Beautiful stuff. But I got this little Tockley when I was learning to spin cotton. And so this is all metal, brass tips, and this thing will just spin like a dream. Spins forever in this singing bowl. And what I like about it is as it's sitting there, and sometimes it'll hit the singing bowl. And I'm a singer, so I love having those beautiful sounds going. So this is all I have left. Not left. This is what I have to spin yet, and it is 4 ounces. It doesn't say. I don't know if that's the right tag for it. Maybe it is. Oh, Superwash Merino Wool, 63%. 20% silk, 15% nylon, and 2% silver poly? Silver poly. Huh. Thought it was Angelina. Silver poly. Anyways, the reason I'm spinning this up, and I'm spinning it on my support spindles, is because I'm trying to spin it up as thin as possible. I love lace. I love to make lace. And I have several shawls that I've made from this book, Knitted Lace of Estonia by Nancy Bush. This is one of my favorite books. I've made several of the shawls out of this particular book. The reason I'm spinning this for one of the shawls out of here is because this last September in Fort Wayne we have a historic festival called the Johnny Appleseed Festival that tens of thousands of people come. I don't know, it's like a 10, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 people come to the town, maybe more, I don't know. I'm not good with numbers, don't ask me for numbers, but they come to town, and it's all pioneer based crafts, pioneer food, pioneer, just all kinds of stuff. It's amazing. It's so much fun. It's the whole week. It's usually the third weekend in September, and I always remember it because that was the weekend when my oldest son was born, that third weekend. So the first year that I missed going to Johnny Appleseed was because I was having him. Anyways, this last year, well, for several years, my husband and I have gone as reenactors, pioneer reenactors, wearing 18th century gear. 18th century outfits, I'll sit and spin, whether it's on one of my spinning wheels or on a drop spindle. My husband does carving. He'll carve spoons. That's why he was doing this last time. I had a new outfit this year and I was so excited, but when we got there it was a little cool, so I had put on my shoulders one of my knitted shawls from Estonia Shawls. It was the Crown Prince square shawl. I put this on my shoulders when we got out of the car, and I got all the way to where we were setting up and I realized my shawl was missing. Now, this shawl's a big one. It's a big shawl. The first time I made this shawl, it took me 2 years to make this shawl. And the finished size is 52 square inches. 52 square inches. Look at that shawl. It's gorgeous. It's full of nups. It's the same shawl that's on the front of the book too. It's the same shawl. Full of nups. I think there's a couple thousand nups. If you don't know what a nup is, it's like a little bauble that you put into the garment. So I kept asking, we went to the people that were organizing it. I gave them my name. I told them what I was looking for. Never ever got it back. So now I am respinning some yarn so that I can remake my Crown Prince shawl because I really missed it. And the fiber that I used the first time I bought at a local yarn shop here, and it was a beautiful, beautiful 100% wool. So now, like I said, I've got this blend now. I think maybe it'll be a little nicer now that I have a good idea how to make it. You make the inside of the shawl first, and then you make the outside and put it together according to the way the Estonians make their shawls. So, like I said, it took me a long time to make those. All right, the only other thing I have is I got another new spindle recently. This is a drop spindle because the whorl's on the top. I haven't started it, obviously. There's nothing on it right now. I just bought this recently at the last Flax and Fleecer Spinning Guild meeting that I went to 2 months ago. I forgot to go last month. So I just bought this because I just really wanted a nice, pretty one. And then on Etsy, I found this is my first distaff. And what a distaff is a finger distaff. You put it on your finger and you wrap your fiber around the stick, and that helps hold the fiber as you spin it on the spindle. And the reason I got a distaff is because I challenged myself this year that I wanted to learn how to spin flax. I've been really fascinated as I learn about different fibers that we should be wearing, the natural fibers that we should be wearing, cotton and flax and wool, cotton and wool and linen, and flax makes linen. When you turn flax into yarn, then you can make linen with it, and it's really, really very beneficial for our bodies, very beneficial for our lives, and they just, anytime I can get rid of plastic in my life, I'm happy, even though I've got a plastic bag here. So I have challenged myself to learn how to do flax, so I've got to work on getting this out of here and wrapping it up on the distaff so I can put it on here. So that's a project that I'm going to be starting very, very soon. All right, looks like I've been going a lot longer than I thought I was going to go, so I thought I had maybe 10 minutes worth of stuff, so I apologize that this has gone on so long. I hope this has been of some interest to you. I will definitely get better. I'm still doing a lot of research on how to make videos, how to put YouTube channel together and how to do it and entertaining. I will have you meet my pets at some point. My pets are a big part of my life. We've got 2 dogs, a Westie St. Bernard Newfoundland mix. She gets so much attention when we take her out. I've also got 2 cats now, thanks to my youngest daughter. And we've got 2 rabbits. I've got a short-haired rabbit, and I've got the little flying face rabbit. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you coming and spending time and giving me comments. If you like what you see, give me a like. I will get better at this and add the notes and do all the information that y'all are looking for. Also want to remember to, since it's a Friday, I got my red shirt on. Remember, everyone deployed. Big shout out to my son Jimmy, who last we knew was in Lithuania. I'm a big supporter of our troops. My father was a veteran. My father-in-law is a veteran. I have 2 kids in the Army. So if anybody sees Jimmy or knows Jimmy or hears from Jimmy, tell him I love him. And I can't wait to see him when he gets back to London. Other than that, thank you all for watching. If you're still here, appreciate it. And just give me some good comments. Let me know what I can improve upon and do better. Thank you, and have a great day.